so that we can continue with our meeting. And I hope everyone have found the link in their emails. And let me double check, is my director here? Director, are you around?
Present, I am present, Councillor.
With everyone from our beautiful department and to environmental.
I have got, I'm just checking the people that I can still see in the meeting, Councillor. And we have Pamela Booth is here. I'm just, Colleen Durant has joined us. Alexis Moos is attending from LED, but I think Fumi's using her link to be here from LED. And Sean Madambu is here from Land Use Management, and Randy is still struggling to get in.
Thanks, Director. Let me start my meeting then, if you are here, Director, by the procedure of the meeting. Let me do the following, that Mr. Struble have apologized that he will arrive late in our meeting, but he will join us in due course. Understandable that he is a ward councillor. There may be certain issues within his ward that he need to attend to. By those few words also, I must welcome everyone to our meeting of today. And I hope that the community also have received the link of the meeting of today. I will ask also the department of corporate to assist me, because I'm using my phone for this meeting. Now I can't see each hand. If there are hands that are missing within the meeting, please assist me. We are moving then to point number 2, which is members present. Is Mevrouw Wedeman, are you present?
I am, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Matiwane, are you present? Councillor Matiwane, are you present? Mandla Matiwane. Councillor Naki, are you present?
Yebo.
Okay. Councillor Matiwane? Is Councillor Matiwane around? Since Matiwane doesn't answer, but we are a quorum, we are 3 councillors.
Chairperson?
Hello? Yes?
Yes, it's Louis Keppers here. I clicked on the wrong link, and I think I saw Councillor Matiwane there at the link that I clicked. So I'll give him a call and tell him to come to the right meeting.
Okay, thanks. Hello. Hello, who's that? And I will ask the councillors, if your hand is not, if I didn't notice you or I didn't give you an opportunity to speak, keep your phones in mute. It's very irritating. Hello? No, Councillor Ngezu, please. If I didn't notice, if I didn't say speak, don't speak, wait, because it's very irritating that when someone is speaking and you are busy with your own stuff, you don't want to listen to your private stuff. Please keep your phones and your laptops on mute. Having said that, I take it that we, through you, I need to understand that do we have a translator for this meeting?
Councillor, maybe
yes, I'm here, Councillor.
Okay, thank you.
In the meeting.
Thank you. Members present, all our members, as We said that Councillor Struble will arrive late. Now we are moving to other councillors present. Who are councillors who are present? I see Councillor Ngezu. Who are the other councillors who are
present?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Tika.
Thank you.
Hi, Chairperson Chokolo is also here.
Okay, chair in waiting. Okay. And who else?
Crouch is here.
Okay, my chief whip, yes. Okay, I don't have time to waste time. Then let's move then to go to officials which are present. Officials who are present.
This is the
Chairperson,
Director
yes,
for Planning and Development. I'm present, Councillor.
Thank you.
yes, I'm Louis Skeepers, Acting Municipal Manager present.
Thank you.
Great Chairperson, Director Infrastructure, Pravir Hai Prasad, present.
Yeah. Where's the acting from community service? Son of France is he part of the meeting. He can't be absent his second day at work as a director. Is he around?
Chairperson, the appointment of Mr. Franz was from the 1st of November, even though we now need to also get him to act for the period now, but he's not been appointed for this period now. The council only appointed him from the 1st of November.
No, it's fine. Thanks, MM.
Sure.
Then let's move then to the audit committee present, 2.6. Who are the members of the audit committee who are present?
Chair, the meeting in.
Rambile kweko. Audit committee, none. We'll record it as such. I take it the link went out for 2.7 for the public to be part of the meeting. Now we are number 3, the provision of code of conduct for councillors and declaration of interest. Is there anyone who want to declare? Going once, going twice, it's closed. Today we don't have any presentation. Then we move to the confirmation of the minutes. It is there, councillors, in page 4. Committee members. In page 4 and in page 11, you get your matter arising. And I take it the councillors has an opportunity to go through the minutes. Now it's time to say that we move with this, or what are the councillors' view? Where's committee members? Even councillors who want to speak on the matter arising, this is an opportunity now. I'm listening. Councillors? Do we adopt this meeting, this minutes? Councillors, committee members?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, Chair.
Thanks. Then we go to page 11. Matter arising. Is there any matter arising? Councillors? Committee members? We move. Committee members, can we move?
Yes, Chair.
Committee members, can we move? Committee members, can we move? We are Pahala Kematiwan. Committee members, can we move?
Yeah, we're having problems there. Yes, Chair.
Okay, thank you. We recorded as such. There's none matters arising. Then let's move then to page 12. Matters submitted by the acting municipality manager, Dr. Louis Skeepers. And the recommendation is at page 12 that the West Coast report be noted. Are we going with the recommendation, yes, committee members? Okay. Are we going with the recommendation, committee members?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor. I take it Namhla is noting. Okay, then we move to page 46. Let's move together to page 46, committee members and councillors and the public at large. The recommendation is at page 46. At the
Chair, sorry,
environmental.
but I have one question.
Noted,
Yes.
Chair.
Chair,
What's the question, Matuan?
I want to ask, the last time which I recall, there was global funds which were supposed National Municipality got in terms of alien clearing in a riparian zone. How far is that process? Yes.
No, don't worry, Matuan. We'll sort you out. Director, can you get hold of Pembo to address Matuan? Or yourself can assist him.
Good day, Councillor. Pam is in the meeting. She
Okay.
will respond. Just the funding that the councillor is referring to, can he just repeat what the funding source is that he's referring to?
Okay.
Drought relief fund.
Come again?
I heard it, Chair.
Drought relief fund.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Pam?
Mr. Chair, Councillor, the drought relief fund was channeled into CASIDRA, which is an entity associated with the Department of Agriculture. We've done the fine scale mapping, and we've identified a key fire break and one of the catchment areas for the Bongani that will be cleared using that drought funding. CASIDRA will be advertising the tender for the work in the coming weeks. I've met the new project manager and we've been on site, and hopefully those tenders will be awarded within the coming month.
Okay. Thanks, Pam. Are you happy, Councillor?
Yes,
And
I'm
members, are you
happy.
happy? Okay. Can
Please,
you go with the
Pam.
recommendation? Hello?
Chairperson, my hand has been up.
Or come, Councillor Chokolo? The Deputy Mayor, Madam. Yes, speak.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good afternoon, everyone. Chair, just on page 49, on the operational budget, I just want to understand the one about, it says the laboratory services for water quality testing. And it says there's about 20,000, no sampling to date, need to recognition. I just want to understand, why is that not happening? Why do we have to renegotiate with the Naisna Basin project? Aren't we having already something in place there? And also, Chair, just maybe, I know maybe this report was written before now, October. Also the 70,000 rands for environmental education, which I think is very important. I see the note, it's saying the planning was for up a month and marine coastal cleanup in September and October. So we are in September and October. Maybe just an update. I understand maybe this report was written earlier. Thanks, Chair. Just those two.
Thank you, Garden Road Councillor. Through you, Director, can Pam answer the Councillor, please?
Yes, Chairperson. I just also want to note for you that Councillor Weideman's hand is also up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me wait then. Wait, Pam and the Director. Councillor Weideman, can you ask your question as well so that we cover everyone?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I was covered by Councillor Chokolo. Thank you.
Okay. Through you, Director, to Pam both.
Councillor Chokolo, the sampling, the 20,000 rands worth of sampling, we're in a bit of a tricky situation where the Naisna Basin project lost their project manager, who was basically driving the sampling with her lab and her intern who has a chemistry background. So we had a partnership with them. They would physically take the samples. We just provided the bottles and then we paid for the analysis. Now we've got a meeting with the Knysna Basin project, I think in about 2 weeks' time, to renegotiate how that sampling is actually going to happen in the absence of this critical person. So that's an ongoing thing that we need to sort out. And then the Arbor Month and Marine Week, we have done activities in September and October, and that environmental education budget is starting to be spent now, and we will report on it in the next reporting period.
Thank you, Pam. Kirsty, who is freezing? Where is she? Okay. Councillor, I take it you are happy now. Councillor Chokolo, have you covered your questions?
Chair, yes, I'm covered. We can move.
Okay. Can we go with the recommendation, councillors? Committee members?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, Councillor.
Councillor Skubana, you can't.
Yes.
Yes,
Let's
my
move
chair.
then.
Councillor Skubana,
Let's
you
move
can't.
now to, hello? Can we move to page
Councillor,
51?
can't see my hand, but I'm.
Councillor Vedemana, I don't hear you.
Councillor Skubana. Can you hear me, Councillor Skubana?
No, I'm struggling.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a sound problem there. I think Councillor Vedeman maybe she's got challenges about the sound challenges.
No, my sound is good. Can you hear me?
Councillor Vedeman, sorry, can you try again?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, I just wanted to go to the contracted personnel. I noticed that 88,000 has already been spent. That is a fairly big budget allocation. And are there any other contracts being signed?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Can the director answer that one, please?
Sorry, can Councillor Weideman just repeat the last part of what she said? Thank you.
I noticed that 88,230 Rand has been spent on contracted personnel. The budget is 1.6 million, and I was wondering whether any other new contractors have been signed on.
Thank you. I'm going to just ask Pam to respond to what the progress is on our spending on those contractors who are doing the work for us. Thank you.
Councillor Weideman, the expenditure for August was very low because the contracts were only signed, I think, after the first week of August. We currently have 25 natural resource management personnel signed on, and we've got another 25 river health ladies that should be included in that group starting before the end of October. So our expenditure on casual wages should increase exponentially.
Thank you.
Can we go with the recommendation then?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. Thanks. Then let's go to page 51. I wish the mayor is listening. I'm challenging him at page 51. The director, is Fumi part of the meeting? Director, is Fumi part of the meeting?
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. He's under Alexis Moses' name in this meeting because he's using a device that belongs to her. but he is in the
Okay,
meeting.
now, before any questions, councillors and the community at large, with the number one of NICE now, we were dealing with the Economic Development Department now, which speaks to the economy and in the stage where we are under COVID-19. Everyone knows that we don't enjoy to see people not working with NICE now. But I would like that for me to take us just through what is the department presently doing in terms of changing the life of the people, the poor of the poorest, and the rich of the richest in NICE now. Fumi, Director, through you to Fumi, please. Some stuff won't reflect in this agenda, but it will reflect next month's agenda. But we felt that let us share it with you as an open department. Thank you, Director, through you to Fumi.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Chair. I think I will not really speak to the agenda, but I'll just speak to the overall in terms of what are we currently doing as a department. What we've done, I think last month or 2 months ago, we've developed a COVID-19 briefing note, which we submitted to you. We are currently working with the district in terms of developing a district economic recovery plan. So such plan will sort of speaks into what the local municipalities are doing in terms of reviving the economy. So once the district plan has been completed, then that will give us chance and appetite as the local municipality to develop our own economic recovery plan as NISNA. So apart from what we currently have in terms of the scorecard as a department, we do have other interventions that we have from national government and provincial government that we can tap into. But in terms of getting more details into those interventions, that will be produced in the next Section 80 meeting, because we're waiting for the district plan to be completed. Because there was an argument from the province that the local municipalities should not work in silos. So whatever strategy that we put on the table, it should speak to the district strategy. So when I present my own performance or other matters will be taken care of. But in terms of asking your question, the comprehensive document that will speak to economic recovery plan will come in the next Session 80 meeting. Thank you.
Thank you for me, Director and community at large and officials. Director, in detail, speak about the current reporting backlog in the system. Can you take us through around D10, page 52? Hello?
Councillor, yes, I'm with you. I'm just navigating myself to the page. Yes, in terms of the EPWP, we are currently working on the backlog in the system. Is just a backlog with uploading all of the information and the data capturing. We, at the moment, don't have a data capturer working for Knysna Municipality. We are busy with two processes to address our own data capture. One is that we're going to be seeking from National Treasury that they will pay for, there is a point on our organogram created for EPWP, and we've had a meeting with National Treasury as well as the Department of Public Works, where they have informed us that we can formally apply to them to have a post funded from National Treasury. So we are currently in the process of drafting the necessary communications to the National Treasury for them to be able to fund the post. They have done a similar process where they have funded such a post for Beto, so that it wouldn't have to come from the municipality's own resources. And then secondly, we will be seeking from our database just some assistance for data capturing from the EPWP grant funding to assist us. In the meantime, the district office is assisting us with the data capturing to be able to upload the data, and we've made progress up until the end of August, but we have made progress in the past month in updating the data, so that will allow us to show the achieved number accurately. So while the targets are being, in terms of the work being done, we can only report the achievement based on the data capturing that is successfully done. But we are engaging with both the
Chair, Kirsty, the mayor are disturbing us. We can't hear.
Come again?
Kirsty and the mayor.
Okay, I'll send someone to talk to the mayor and Kirsty, not to disturb you, councillors. Okay, fine. Okay, continue, Director.
Yes, no, I was finished, but I don't know if the councillor wants me to just repeat the last part of my statement that we are working.
Can you do that, please?
Yes, we're working with National Treasury and the Department of Public Works to accelerate the processes of getting our own staff resources. But in the meantime, we are receiving the support from the district office in assisting us with uploading the data capturing with the department.
Okay, thank you, Director. Director, can through you, please, committee members have noticed 2 hands, but be patient with us as a department. Through you, Director, can you give G158 for me, please, just to explain, because I know people will be questioning the 21 to 23 September 2020. How far away is this process now?
Thank you, Chair. Referring to D158.
Yes. Achievement.
Okay, just to give you a bit of a background, what happened is we initially advertised for a current phase of the incubator program prior to lockdown. Then we received about 62 applications. Then out of those 62 applications, we shortlisted, we did assessment. Then I think for the last 2 weeks, we're busy with interviews. We have candidates from various areas in Neisner. So we currently have 26 successful applicants. We are also busy engaging with Nedbank because they were in the process of pulling out from funding the program due to COVID-19 challenges. So what we have done is that we have developed a COVID-19 implementation plan for the project, and they managed to come back to fund the incubator program again. We're just waiting for some signatures to be completed on an agreement. So we're currently sitting on 26 successful applicants. But before we launch the program, we're just waiting for Nedbank to revive and then and update the current agreement. Thanks.
Thanks, Director. Thanks, Bumi. And let me do an honorable thing. Let me welcome Mr. Struble to be part of our meeting. The pastor, Struble. Luzuko, I saw your hand. It's an opportunity for when a councillor to speak or to ask questions or to comment.
Chairperson, thank you very much. Look, I think what the director about the D10 one, I think the director has covered also the questions that I was going to ask on the next item. So I think I must deal with that. I can deal with that now if you will allow me, Chair, or if you can rule if you want us to deal with it.
No. Just stick in your lane. It's so fortunate that you have a license. You know when you must drive in your lane, drive in your lane.
But that's why I'm saying, Chair, she raised things that are on the next item, but it's fine. I know.
Yeah.
Let me deal with D158 then. It's fine, Chair.
Yes.
Look, I am worried, Chair, about this, because if you look at the quarterly target, it is 3 of these sessions. And if you look at the comments, what the manager has just explained now, this department will actually now, if that materializes that happens, we'll actually have 1 session, which is they are too short of the target. If I understand you correctly, that's the situation that we are in now. So my concern, Chair, is that, Chair, can I continue? Or?
Yeah, continue now, we're listening to you.
Okay. My concern, Chair, is that
hold on, Councillor Chokol. Hold on, Councillor Chokol. I think it's Matiwane. Please, can you mute yourself? We don't want to hear your stuff. The media is listening to these things and the community at large. You'll speak something that you'll regret tomorrow. Please mute your phone, comrade. Okay, continue, Councillor Luzo.
Chair, and also Kirsty her mic is also on, and I'm hearing sounds there. Chair, just to continue then, my worry is that when the target is set for 3 for a quarter, and we we've already started the second quarter, and looking at the last quarter, we would have achieved one out of the three. So, you know, I know that 12 of the annual target might be reached or might be achieved by the end of the financial year. But my worry is to set quarterly targets that we know at that quarter we won't be able to push them. So why can't we maybe, say for an example, if you know you're going to start slowly, you say one quarter and then you start spreading out the others and give them some bigger numbers. For an example, in the second or third quarter, then you make it bigger than the numbers than trying to spread the 12 to 3, 3, 3, and then you make the 12. So I would love to see that, Chair, so that our STP speaks to what we're really doing. The other one, Chair, I think let me deal with it in the next item, the D10 one, because there's a lot of that came out of there. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Luzuko. Let me also explain something. I'm using Kirsty's laptop now. It's not her. And two, I think also I must take the councillors into confidence in terms of the agenda in front of them. If you could look at page 52 and 53 that you got in the column of comment, you always have not yet due. If you look at also at column D160, saying that not yet due, we've addressed that issue with the new acting manager, with the director, that we need specifics. In the next meeting, you will receive specifics. For instance, in the one of D160, that one will be due at February 2021. But in the next meeting now, we've asked the manager, remember it's new, that when you write a report for Section 80 or even for council, you must give us specifics. I felt, let me raise that to one. I don't know whether the director often want to say something out of your proposal that you've said regarding the STPs and the numbers. Director, over to you. Where's my director now?
Thank you, Councillor. In September, sorry, there are training programs that we will report on for September, which will still be part of this quarter. This report goes to August. In September, there were 2 trainings that we will be reporting on. And there is one training that is short. I just want to also, we try and schedule the training so that we do spread the work, so that we do spread the opportunities out throughout the year. And that is why we would schedule out of 12 intended, 3 per quarter. The beginning of this quarter was unfortunately a slow start, partly also due to the fact that venues, etc., was difficult to arrange under the COVID circumstances. We know now that we can use half the hall capacities, etc. So we are able to now schedule the programs, and the councillor is indeed correct. We will make up for the ones for the lagging program that we haven't been able to present, but the future quarters ought to be able to follow the scheduled programming as we had planned it.
Thank you, Director. Pastor Davis, do you want to say something? I saw your hand.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon to everyone and to you. I had a meeting on Tuesday with some of my informal traders in our community, and they've just alluded to a bit of a challenge, man, when it comes to especially those that have been renting spaces month to month, and that they have to now apply now all over again with all the old documentation that they had already, that the municipality already has. So I just want to bring that through and ask the director if there's any way that we can not do that, because obviously they've been trading for a long time. Why should they now also have to apply brand new like everyone else when you already have all their documentation? So that was actually the main question. And then the second one is in terms of our event application. Before, I think it was last year, there was a new template that was designed for events. But I've been trying to have events last year already, and I've given up because it's just too complex, because you have to register and it's a whole long story. And we in our ward committee, we want to do some events now that COVID is on a level 1. So how do we do that, Chair? How do we do events without that complexity as councillors? Because last time we couldn't do it because they spoke about we need toilets and all that stuff. And then when we wanted to apply, it was just too complex. So is there a strategy to make it less complex so that we, especially as councillors, can have events that we want to have in our ward without being told that law enforcement will come close it down, and etc. So just a comment on that, Chair. Thank you.
Councillor Chokolo, so that we can go to recommendations.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, just my last one. On page 54, I see the grant that we received for EPWP is 1.2. I just want to understand. I know we are being allocated this money at the financial year starts in April for the department, and ours start only in July. I just want to understand, when they approve it in April, do we immediately get the grant, or they just approve it and then pay it over to us in July? Because I just want to know, if they approve it and we get it immediately, can we get to use it in April or May, just before the financial year end? I just want to understand that, Chair. Thank you.
Director, can you respond to the question that were raised in comments by the councillors, so that we can go to recommendation?
I'm going to start with Councillor Luzuko's, Councillor Chokolo. I keep with Councillor Chokolo's question. Councillor Chokolo, we can only start expending on grants once it has been realized in our own budget from the municipality. We need to have that grant allocation first taken up by council into our budget, and only after then are we able to expend on the grant. So there is that 3-month difference between when they allocate it and gazette it and when we are able to then take it up and start our spending on it. But they do provide the tranche payments for us in a manner that we are able to spend it within our financial year, their previous allocation. Then, Councillor Davis, your questions. Firstly, with regards to the informal trade. The informal trade opportunities are limited in their number. So when people's informal trade opportunity expires, they need to reapply for that opportunity again. If the opportunity is still available to them, we will, by all means, be giving people the same opportunity in the same place as far as possible. But should there be a process, should there be a scenario where trade opportunities have been taken up, we need to create fairness in terms of other people who are awaiting opportunities to be able to have a space to trade. The idea is not that the whole business is built on an informal trade store. Once somebody's business grows to the extent that they ought to be able to enter other spaces in the marketplace, then we need to be able to encourage that and facilitate that and allow new people coming into the marketplace their opportunities as well. Unfortunately, we also need to update information currently. We cannot work on people's old information because there might be circumstances and issues that we do require where that information has changed, and then we need to become aware of that as the municipality. The intention surely is not to take people's opportunities away from them just deliberately, but we also have to just go through those compliance checks. Then in terms of the events in Knysna municipality are centralized through a portal, and the events committee and the events application process is being coordinated by the public participation department. Many departments participate in the events approval process. events require often for there to be traffic, law enforcement, solid waste intervention. Sometimes the least requirement is, for example, for something from LED, but it could require from environmental management and certain other departments a lot of inputs. And we do understand that sometimes the process is cumbersome, but with every event that takes place within the municipality is exposed to public liability in terms of any occurrences that might happen through the holding of such an event within our municipal space. And that is a bigger part of the reason why the events are so strictly controlled and why the process does have such a lot of things, of inputs that an event applicant will need to bring to the municipality when the event is intended to be in a public space and when the event is going to potentially influence how the rest of the community uses the roads and the sidewalks, etc. And it also has a financial implication for the municipality. For example, if an event is on the weekend, but it is going to generate a lot of waste, then there's an overtime component for the waste collection, for example, for that particular event. So unfortunately, the events are not as event management within the municipality is not just a simple process where we can say that we forgo of certain things. Obviously, for some smaller events, the processes go smoother and quicker because there's less of municipal resources that are required. But we can certainly have a discussion offline to see what type of events they are and how processes can potentially be facilitated through training, etc., of the people making application for events. And we can be looking at then organizing one of these trainings to be a training particularly to address people's navigation of the events portal. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. You said it clearly that if people that got more issues, they should, or they want more advice, they should get in contact with your office offline. But I see the pastor. Pastor, I'll give you the last bite because I need to go to my recommendations now.
Yes, no, thank you, Chair. I don't want to labor the issue, but I just want to, you see, the issue about, I appreciate, I will definitely contact the director about the events. Thank you for that. I just said it is very cumbersome, the application, but maybe with some more systems we can get through it. And then the main issue with the informal traders, this is people that are on a certain location and they've been operating there for months, and the municipality only allows them to renew their permits every month. So that was my challenge, that obviously for them to build their business, we cannot have now someone else coming and then now moving into that. I mean, it doesn't make sense because that's the whole purpose of informal trading and building businesses. And then to submit. So you've got your month, next month come, you have to submit all your documents all over again for the next month. That's all I'm saying. I just want to know if that process can be looked at, because it's not going to help grow the informal trading.
Mama Vodaman, I saw your hand. Are you still wanting to raise something before we go to recommendations?
Thank you very much, Chair. Just in connection with the informal trading, are they given a permit? Because some people are trading for years and years in the same spot, and they have only a copy of a copy of a copy of a little document that shows that they've actually applied for a permit. Now, I believe that there is nobody that is actually supervising this and checking on this. So I would like to know if there's any identification that will be given to the
Director, can you answer the copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a coffee?
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm not aware of anybody operating. We actually introduced a few years ago, about 2 years ago or so, we introduced the strict process where the trader, because trading bays are only for people actually trading themselves at the bay. You can't get a bay without being there present yourself. So we actually have copies that should have people's photograph and their ID number and everything, so that law enforcement are able to request on, they should be able to produce their permit on demand to law enforcement when they do their patrols at the informal trading stalls. If somebody does not have a valid copy, then they can be asked to leave the trading bay.
Thank you, Director. Through you, Chief. I'm also just referring to the people that have trading facilities, for instance, in Sedgefield on the pavements, you know, and they even tie up their trailers on the trees so they don't have to move everything every day. So I just want to know about those people and not about the bay people that. Did you get that?
No, you didn't get the last part.
Oh, okay. Well, I was referring to people that are using parking areas in the streets. It is these people that don't have proper permits.
Thank you, Chairperson. If I may respond, then they are trading illegally and they are not trading formally in those spaces.
Thank you. So, through you, Chair, if we come across something like that, can we ask law enforcement to go and check? Because, you know, as councillor, I wouldn't like to go and cause any fights or anything. So can we then refer law enforcement to go and check whether they have a permit or not?
Yes, I think that's the process that we're supposed to follow as council as well, that we must drop emails because we don't want to be implicated because those are your directive voters. But we can allow illegal stuff to happen in our town. I think all councillors, all areas should follow suit. If we found that there's illegal stuff happening in terms of selling of these tents, we need to report it to the relevant department so that the departments can take actions against those people. Committee members, can you go to the recommendation on page 51?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Let's move to page page 55, EPWP, and I think the first hand will be Councillor Luzuko Chokolo. The recommendation is at page 55. Councillor Chokolo, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. I like you, Chair. You recognize me even if my hand is not up yet. Thanks. Chair, Chair, on this one, as I said, look, I think I went through this report and I also think the director, when she spoke on the item before this one, she mentioned a lot. Firstly, Chair, I think there's three things that are going on here with the D10 SDP. The first one is that currently the department there's a noise. I don't know whether it's from your side or what. And it's not nice.
Pam.
Okay. Chair, I think there's three things that I've taken from this report. The first one is that we've got a problem with capturing the data, and I think what the department has done is to try and get permission from the department to allow us to use the allocation that we've been given to fund it. That's the first one. The second one is that they are also talking to the department to fund this position full time. I couldn't get the director when she was speaking about the organogram, but I think she will come in later. If there is, because I wanted to ask that exactly, is there a position in the organogram currently? And also, if the department is going to fund this position full time, is it going to be on a fixed period, or is it going to be a permanent thing? And if it's going to be a fixed one, how many years are we looking at? And also, Chair, yeah, no. I think the funding they want the funding. The managers looking for the funding from National Treasury. That's the thing. Chair, I think let me get those answers before I move on. Thanks.
Don't worry, Councillor Luzuko Chokolo. We're going to give an answer that will make you not to come back. That I can assure you. Director, take him through, please.
Thank you, Councillor. Yes, firstly, there are 2 administrative posts, but they are unfunded on approved organogram posts. And that is why we are able to seek this from Treasury, because that was their first response. That was their first inquiry from us as well, is whether whether we have made provision for posts to be able to be filled like this. And part of the reason why we are going to be requesting in our letter from National Treasury that they will be funding this on a permanent basis. They have indicated, because our concern with them was that what if next year we don't get an allocation from them for EPWP, or for some other reason national government suspends the program. They assured us that this is not a program that will be suspended in any type of foreseeable future, and that indeed they want to be assisting Knysna municipality to, they actually commended us, despite sometimes what it seems, they commended us as a municipality that they believe can actually be qualifying for the type of funding that bigger metros are getting from the EPWP program. And that's certainly a target which we as a department are wanting to seek to try and achieve. We are one of the better, more reliable of the B municipalities, and they are quite encouraged and see foreseeable good things in our future. So
Chair,
Have you finished, Director?
No, she's.
We missed you, Director, there.
She's on mute. I think she's muted by mistake.
Must have pressed the mute button. Sorry, I don't know where I lost you. I was just saying that should we certainly will be asking for it to be permanently filled, but if those posts, if Treasury says to us, for example, that they are going to only be giving us funding for the post for 5 years, then we will limit the contract of the incumbent, obviously, for those 5 years, because unless it is council's intention that we are going to be continuing from our own pockets after such a period of time to fund such a post on a permanent basis. But once we have got a response from Treasury, we will obviously formalize all of those processes through the council and committee system so that councillors can give their inputs in that respect.
Chair, just a follow-up.
No, wait, Councillor Luzuko. Wait with the follow-up. Mama Vedaman, I saw your hand. Are you still ready to speak?
I will hand over to Councillor Tiokolo because mine is on something else. Thank you.
Give your chairperson. This is not okay. Councillor Tiokolo.
Chair, thank you very much. I want to get a full understanding of this, Chair. So we've got currently 2 unfunded positions, and maybe National Treasury will fund both, or maybe the one. And I assume that if they fund one, then we're going to use the allocation for the other one. Now, I also want to understand, say National Treasury fund one, and then we fund the other one from the actual grant. How are we going to make sure? I know maybe National Treasury for the other one might give us a better offer than what we will get from the EPWP allocation. Are we going to be able to manage that to make sure that those people are getting the same salary or same benefits? Thanks, Chair.
Chairperson, we will be.
Wait, Director. Through me, you can answer him. So that we can go to the recommendation. Floor is yours, Director.
Chairperson, with your indulgence, I will respond that we will, the posts that are on our organogram will have to be taken through a formal task process to be able to ascertain what their task levels are. These two posts that are on the organogram are not both on the same level, so they will not both be they will not both be evaluated to come out to be remunerated on the same basis. So there will be a difference there. If we do get this allowance to be able to appoint somebody permanently from National Treasury's resources, then we will still be able to use the administrative component of the grant allocation to appoint people on more temporary basis, but we would then have a consistent person who is a warm body, who has been trained and who understands how all the systems work so that there's continuity. If, for example, we then periodically have somebody working on a temporary basis being employed to assist that person in terms of the other job. Thank you.
Mama Voderman, so that we can go to the recommendation. Are you still around?
Yes, I am. I just wanted to ask through you, Chair, with regard to the COVID expenditure, the 576,000 Rand, I noticed that I don't know where the money is at the moment, in which bank account, and will we only be able to know exactly how that money was spent once the capturing has been done? If the Director could perhaps just give me a reply on that.
Thank you, Chairperson. If I may, through you, the COVID-19 is one of the projects that have been submitted by the relevant department to pay for the people who were doing those deliveries of food parcels during the COVID period. You do recall that people had to be employed to assist the municipality with that. So once the capturing has taken place, we will be able to then match the expenditure. But this is the allocation for the project that was submitted to be able to appoint, I think it was 25 people that were required to do the work that the municipality needed over that time.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. If I can just follow up. So in other words, the 576,000 Rand was only basically used to pay for wages or salaries for people to deliver food, and it did not include any food. Am I correct?
Director.
Thank you, through you, Chairperson. That is correct. The Expanded Public Works Program is only a program that we are only allowed to pay for work opportunities from that particular grant fund.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Go back to the recommendation then.
Yeah. Chair, so I presume that once it's available, that we will get a report on how many people were employed and how this money was actually spent exactly.
Director.
Thank you, Chairperson. That's exactly what this report's purpose is. You will, if I just may, with your indulgence, Chairperson, just indicate to councillors that based on the discussions that was had at the previous meeting, I have asked the department that we will from now on have a standing separate report on the Expanded Public Works Program. This report will also include that on a quarterly basis, we will also be getting a report from the district. We've requested the person in charge of the program at the district to report from a district level on our performance, so that that is also that information is also be made available to the councillors. So there will be, by the time that this data capturing is updated, then under that particular program for COVID-19 food security, we ought to be able to show the councillors exactly that the expenditure, I think the achieved target was 24 people out of 25 that were indeed employed, and then we will then be able to say to the councillors exactly how much money was spent on those salaries. And we will with time improve the report as councillors make proposals of what more information they require. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. And I'll challenge councillors who are sitting in the other portfolios as well to do the same, because EPWP is not only in this portfolio, it's all over. We need to have this report in all departments. Can we go to the recommendation in page 55?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you, Mama. Let's move then. Page 59. Director, page 59. The recommendation is at page 59. Everyone had his agenda with them. Is there any question that you would like to raise so that the director and his team can answer you? Thank you. Any questions? None? Can we go to the recommendation in page 59? Councillors, can we go to recommendation at page 59?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you, Strubal. Thank you, Mamonaki. Moving to page 62. The recommendation is that everyone had the opportunity to read it. The recommendation is at page 64. Is there any questions so that the department and the director can respond? Councillors? Councillors?
Noted, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mama. Let's move then to page 65. Page 65, the recommendation is page 66. And I think the department have gone an extra mile because we've been talking about this even in council. But is there anyone who has a question so that the department can respond? The recommendation is at page 66. Committee members?
Chair.
Yes. Yes, Councillor Luzuko.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Chair, mine is just to ask the other departments. If you look at the background, there was a council resolution that that those departments, the water and sanitation, roads, and so on, must also form part of these meetings or must also serve. I just want to know: are they attending these meetings, or is environmental the only one? Because I've not seen these. I've not seen any report from the other Section 80s for community services and water and sanitation. I haven't seen anything there.
I'm very worried to give this opportunity to the director to answer on behalf of other departments. But who I am, let me give over to her if she's in a position to answer. Thank you.
Through you, Chairperson, yes, because we attend the meetings and because we see all the minutes of the meetings that come through, I can confirm that other departments within the municipality also do participate in the meetings. Just in terms of the council resolution, each department is supposed to bring a report to their relevant portfolio committee on their activities in the meeting, but I can assure the councillors that the other departments are also present in the meetings that we attend. Thank you.
I knew you will come with a follow-up. Follow-up, Luzuko.
Yes, Chair. No, Chair, I was raising this with the hope that the acting MM will also look into this because the resolution is very clear that we should have reports in the Section 80. So I noticed he was in the meeting earlier on, so I hope he looks into it because I haven't seen any I know I'm missing some of the portfolios, but I've never seen the on the agenda because I'm receiving every agenda. Thanks, Chair.
Let me take it upon me. I'll talk to the MM. The MM have excused himself from this meeting. He needed to be somewhere, but I'll bring it up to him. But with the understanding that maybe he's listening also to all the recordings of these meetings. Oh, Mama Vodeman.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. That is exactly what I was going to ask. I noticed that the MM is not there, that the MM perhaps could take this further and ensure that the other departments are also present a report. Thank you.
Can we go to the recommendation committee members?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you, Mama. Let's move then to page 67. I must say again, the item in front of us, I so wish that Councillor, who's this councillor now? Director, who's this councillor I'm looking for? Wasserman, yes, Councillor Wasserman was part of the meeting. Councillors will remember that this item we had it, I think, in section 80, and even in the council meeting, that the issue of Tees Island. We took it up with the department, and the department was so actively involved. As the reason the item is in front of you, to show that we are a department that cares and that we are a department that listens. But if there's anyone who's having a question, it's an opportunity now to raise your question so that the department can attend to it. I saw your hand, Mama Vodeman. You can ask.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I noticed that in the discussion it says there that there are 3 annexures. I only see one, and it's very, very illegible. One can't actually read it. I would just like to know, where are the other annexures? That is my first question. The second question that I want to talk about is that it mentions here that the resolution dated the 27th of February 2003 cannot be traced. All right, so it was very difficult there to get to some point. But in the minutes of that meeting, those minutes do not contain the resolution referred to in the letter dated on the 14th of March. So if we could have the documents in front of us, that would really, really help us. This is a quite sorry, Chair. This is quite a confusing report because it refers to things and letters and dates and all kinds of things. But the most important fact is that the letter of the 14th of March 2003 does not grant the approval. It refers to the council resolution which gave the approval. So we cannot rely on that letter as a letter of approval. It's quite an intricate situation here. And if we do not have that resolution and we do not have the other letters, we're unable to actually delve right into this problem here.
We will deal with these issues as you're raising them. We're also going to have this item in front of the MACO. We'll have an opportunity again. Director, can you assist to Mama Vodeman, please?
Yes, thank you, Councillor. I am not sure exactly how the importing of the annexes into this into this agenda. I'm not sure how that happened, but I can certainly I will communicate in an email the same annexes again to the committee section so that it can be included in the MACO item. I just also want to explain to the councillor. To Councillor Weideman in terms of the question that she asked. This is exactly why the item is here. It is because of the fact that we were asked the question that if the council resolution cannot be traced in the council records, it had been suggested that then therefore the development was never approved. And this was an item written in response to that. It is indeed, the department has found that we cannot find the original anywhere in council's records, the approval that council did in 2003. The only thing that we could find on the records in the town planning department was indeed the letter the formal official letter confirming the conditions of approval of the approval that is referred to. And we would have to, as a municipality, and we have indeed, because there is an actual physical development that has now occurred with buildings and houses and everything on that particular island. Services are being given, service augmentations have been paid. All of those things have happened as a result of that approval from council. So there is nothing that suggests that council never indeed on the day approved this development. In fact, everything speaks to the fact on a balance of probabilities that this development had indeed been approved by the council. It is not the fact that the record of council is not to be found anywhere. We've looked through the records of that time. I don't know how the records were kept. That is in the days before we had the collaborator system when this particular approval happened. So it's very difficult for us to, by electronic means, find the records. I don't know whether there are physical archives, but if there are physical archives, I'm assuming that there will be quite extensive archives for us to be able to go through that. But the letter that is given, normally such a letter is given to anybody who applies for development rights in the municipality. And that letter then forms the basis on which that applicant or the person who now was given those rights are able to then proceed with whatever it is that the development that they have applied for. So in this instance, this is the letter and that was given to Teeson Island to confirm their development. And in particular, the questions that were asked were in respect of the commercial section of it. And we have then tried to explain to the councillors to get an understanding that the commercial section was one of the latter phases of the entire Teeson Island development that includes all of the islands where the residential houses have been built on. And that is really the gist of this particular report, is just to put into a nutshell how we treat the development at Teeson Island, and that the legal outcomes of that of council's decision had already now accrued to everybody. Surveyor General, the Surveyor General diagrams have been submitted. People have had transfers of these urban with the deeds office, with the national, with the deeds office. So all of those things cannot be undone and unraveled because we cannot find the actual copy of the council's original approval. And I do not believe that we would ever be in a situation where a court would find that then negates an entire development which exists and is standing physically in place and has been there for almost 2 decades already. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. This is most definitely something that we need to look in further, because you also do not mention in that the subdivision of phase 5B was only approved on the 14th of 2006, and you don't mention that as well. So I feel that, Chair, that maybe that we should note this report, but that maybe we could set up a meeting so that we could sit down and talk about this and get all our facts straight before we actually accept anything. So we can just note this report and then it should go to Maker after this. But maybe we could add into the recommendation that we have a meeting soon, so that I can be happy with all the documents that I've seen, and that everybody else is happy with what is going on.
Let's note it and then we deal with it at the Maker. Let's give each other ample time. As the information is information missing, as the director correctly saying that you're gonna email it, corporate, so corporate can give every councillor documents that are missing here. Can you just note it for today there in terms of the recommendation? Then we deal with the matter again and make. At least we've started somewhere. They are not starting at all. Committee members, we go with the recommendation at page 68.
Sure. Thank you, Chair. But could we perhaps put in this recommendation from our committee that we can meet up, that the committee can perhaps meet up with the directors so that we can get everything that we really want to get before we take it to MACO. So it makes it easier in MACO to finalize the resolution if we have to do that.
Oh, I don't see any problem, but let me hear from the director. Tyree.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor, whatever information is going to be given to Council will only be able to be for noting. Council cannot at this stage change any of the recommendation or any of the decisions in terms of the approval of the Teeson Islands development. So if we submit this to MACO and the councillors are given it before the time, I'm actually trying to send the email as this while we're in the meeting to assure you that the annexures have been resent to the committee section to take up in the MACO agenda, which they are currently busy drafting, so that the councillors can be given all of the information, so that at that point the information is there. There is not, council will only be able to note the information that is given to them. If of course the MACO and councillors decide that there are certain other instructions to the department that will flow out from that, then that can still be made at MACO. But in terms of the document content, there is nothing that will be able to be changed by way of a resolution in terms of the approval of the development. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Director. Can you note the recommendation at page 60?
Then I'll just follow up there. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I missed your hand.
I find it very difficult that a resolution was made from a letter and not through the council, because in the minutes of the 27th of February, there's no mention of any approvals. It just says here that a status report regarding the approvals granted regarding the Teeson Island development be submitted at the next meeting of the Land Use Engineering Committee. But then this letter from the EDIL so-called approval letter on the 14th of March. Now, do we have to make a resolution on a letter which was submitted by Mr. Hill, or this Hill approval letter? So there are a lot of questions to this, and yes, it can go to MACO, but we'll have to do a little bit more investigation. But thank you very much indeed. We can then note this report.
Okay, thank you. Are we in agreement that we are noting it now? Page 68. Where the other councillors? Committee members. Where is the pastor? Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mamnaki. Let's move then to page 70. Western Cape Economic Development Service Level Agreement. Director, this time around, as much as the councillors have read the item, can you just take them into confidence? What is the item about? Because this item is very rich.
Thank you very much, Councillor. The item concerns, councillors may be aware that we, in the past years, we've reported regularly as a department on our activities with the South Cape Economic Development Partnership. This item serves before council because our agreement with the South Cape Economic Development Partnership was for 3 years and it expired at the end of June of this year. All of the municipalities in the Garden Route participate in this particular intervention, which used to be SCEP, South Cape Economic Development Partnership, which is part of the Western Cape Economic Development Partnership, which is a development grant funded entity that assists the municipalities in certain economic interventions within the Western Cape area. The Garden Route District municipalities have formed part of the specific branch of that bigger Western Cape partnership under the SCEP auspices. We need to enter into a new contract with the Western Cape Development Partnership, which they have asked us to consider the draft contract. I also note that annexure, I don't know in the version of the agenda that I have and that councillors have, whether the draft partnership agreement is attached thereto. In the new partnership agreement, they also want council to note the change of name from the South Cape Economic Development Partnership to the Garden Route Development Partnership, which includes all of the Garden Route municipalities as well as the Garden Route District municipality, and that SCEP will no longer be the name of the entity, but that the Garden Route Development Partnership will be the name of the entity that will be operating for our region, so that we can look at economic programs that have a regional impact. What's not in this report, but some of the practical things that we have started discussing with the program management is that what we will be focusing on for Knysna municipality is going to be light furniture industry development, as well as the expansion of boat building for this particular region. And those are two things that they've identified, which Knysna would be, which is core for activities within Knysna, but which would have a regional impact if those activities are grown and developed further within Knysna municipality. So this really is for council to note that and to give the municipal manager the authorization to enter into this agreement on behalf of Knysna municipality as part of the other, the broader Garden Route Development Partnership with the other municipalities. And then further for council to note that the name is no longer going to be South Cape Economic Development Partnership, but Garden Route Development Partnership, and that the Garden Route Development Partnership will then forthwith, after the agreement has been concluded, be bringing the quarterly reports to the municipality. I do wish to note for council that provision has been made on the current financial year's budget for funding to be able to contribute to make our municipality's contribution to this particular entity. But obviously our council, the draft budget refers still to the South Cape Economic Partnership, but by council accepting that the name change has happened, though that same funding will then be paid to this new named but the same partnership that we participate in.
Thank you, Director. Councillor Luzuko, so that we can go to the recommendation.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think the Director has mentioned it. Chair, I don't have the annexures, A, B, and C. I don't have in my agenda. I think I spoke to you earlier on to ask about the agenda. I received it late, but there's no annexures in my version. I would have loved to see that proposed agreement between Knysna and the Western Cape, but I haven't seen that. Chair, on this item, I've always been of the view that we as Knysna are not getting much out of this partnership with SCEP previously, because I've seen in other municipalities how I used to be jealous when I look at Mossel Bay at the district municipality, the partnerships that they have there. I think this is very important, Chair, that we have this partnership, but I would also love to really get to the contents of the proposed agreement now that we're going to sign with these people. And Chair, my other question is on the recommendations, Chair, is this committee delegated to resolve on recommendation C? It's being said it's a B, but I think it should be C. is this committee having delegations? Because I think if we're going to resolve, the committee is going to resolve on it now while not having the proposed agreement in front of it. It's not going to work. And also, Chair, my other question is the financial implications, the contributions. What are they looking at when they give us these amounts? Or do we, Knysna municipality, say, look, when we negotiate this, is to say, this is what we can afford, or they say, they look at our budget or how much we can, how do they determine the amount to be contributed by each municipality there? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Luzuko. Before I give to Mama Vodaman, I think, Director, I will need to check something with you so that people don't think it's us. From the last item, we've been missing annexures. In the same item, we're missing annexures. Did you send these annexures to corporate, or it's just an omission from their side to send it to councillors? Can you just answer that one before I give to Councillor Vodaman? Or let me do it this way. Councillor Vodaman, raise your question so that we know we've concluded in this item.
Thank you very much, Chair. I have no problem with the recommendation A and B, and I'm covered with C, or supposed to be C through Councillor Tiokolo. What I want to know, it is very well that we've identified projects in the next 3 years, like the boating company and so forth. But what was done in the last 3 years in conjunction with this partnership? What is not done advertised?
Okay, Director, you can answer then.
Councillors, firstly, in terms of your question, in terms of the annexes are normally uploaded on the collaborator system, and these were uploaded in terms of the system. There are sometimes, because of the size of annexes, etc., there sometimes are issues for why annexes sometimes fall missing, and it is obviously processes that we need to try and refine. But once we upload it, it is pretty much in the system and out of our hands. I know that with this particular item, there was communication from the the committee's services section to say that the items were quite large and that there were issues with the files were large and that there were issues with appending this, and I'm not, that is the communications ended there, but I will follow up on why that isn't so. Then in terms of the question in respect of the previous the previous 3 years, the SCEP has consistently provided reports to the relevant committee. The reports didn't used to come to the planning committee at the time. It came to the governance. It came to the governance and economic development committee at that time that those reports had been submitted. So there has been some of the work that SCEP has been assisting us with as a municipality, and that they have managed to assist us with was things like they've helped us with our film portal that is part of our events portal, with developing the film industry within the municipal space, the greater Garden Route Film Festival, etc. SCEP has also been extensively involved with the recovery of the timber industry and the timber festival that we've had for several years up until COVID within the municipality. They've also already started assisting us with issues like the boat building and how we can be expansive in respect of doing that. And they've also started working already with us on the furniture industry and starting with those, the groundwork for that. So they have been very involved. They've also hosted some of their events within the Knysna municipal area in order to give Knysna municipality some prominence in some of their activities. So they have reported on that regularly, but what we will be able to arrange for councillors is in the same way that we have somebody from the tourism from Westgrove coming to do tourism reports in terms of the agreements that we've had with the Western Cape previously. The entity is supposed to come and give council quarterly reports on their activities. So going forward in this, we will have somebody from the Garden Route Development Partnership be coming to the municipality to present in the same way a report so that councillors can also interrogate them. But what I will ask them to do is, as part of their first report, just also include for us a summary of the interventions and activities over the past 3 years.
Thanks, Director. Mama, Weatherman, before we go to a recommendation.
Yes, I thank you very much for that. It would be appreciated that they could also then come and give us a report on what is happening, because it doesn't seem as if, it doesn't feel as if a lot has been done. But as you now suggested, it would be a good idea if they could give us a summary of what has happened in the last 3 years. Thank you very much. Otherwise, I'm happy with recommendation. I'm not sure if you want to talk about the recommendation C. If the committee is happy with that, then we'll have to go with that.
Committee members.
Chairperson, Chair.
I saw you, Luzuko. You try your luck, Isa.
Chair, no, I think I couldn't get the answer from the contributions. What's the criteria to determine that? I couldn't get an answer from that. And also, Chair, does this committee have the delegations to resolve, to take the recommendation C? Can we do that now? Because I'm worried, Chair, if you're going to resolve on C with a proposed agreement that is not in front of you, it's a worry, Chair. We need to see that. I was going to recommend, I know I'm not a member of the committee, but if it can maybe go to council, that's why I'm asking, can the committee resolve on C?
Okay, let's leave it to our own doctor in director of planning.
Firstly, in terms of the contributions, the municipal contributions, as far as I understand, for this garden route is equal contributions between the municipalities of, I think it's 110,000 rands for this year, for the municipality to give. It is, I don't know that there is a methodology of how it's worked out. What I do know is that between the municipalities, whatever contribution is made, the Western Cape Economic Development Partnership makes an equal contribution to them as the municipalities to the same entity for the same work. In terms of whether this committee is, whether this falls within the delegations of this committee, I would need potentially for Mr. Mateus to assist us with what the committee's delegations are in terms of, and the numbering of the particular items. I can see that the councillors are correct. It says ACB and not ABC, and I would assume that it's still the recommendation that is referred to as B, whether this committee is authorized to resolve that the municipal manager is able to enter into this agreement. Potentially Carl can assist us with that.
Carl, are you around?
Thank you, I'm here, Chairperson. I would suggest that that it is not a resolution but a recommendation to MACO, and that the annexures which is not attached to the agenda then be attached as an annexure to the item when it serves before MACO, and I would even suggest that MACO recommend to council for approval.
Thanks, Carl. Mama Katie, you.
Yes, thank you very much. As committee member, I would go with that resolution that Mr. Matthias has just recommended.
Yeah, very good.
Members, other committee members? Mama Katie, your hand is up. Committee members, do we go with the recommendation?
Yes,
Chairperson. Thank you. Let me take this opportunity to say, baie dankie vir julle tyd, baie dankie director met jou span, baie dankie vir die gemeenskap om te luister. See you next time. Have a good day.
Baie
Thank you,
dankie
Chair.
raadslid en kort.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairman. Chair, I like the way you treat me. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Bye.